Andrew Farrer and Chris Mortimer the centres, Ross Conlon on the other flank, Terry Lamb, Steve Mortimer, Folkes, Batiste, Robinson, Tunks, Johnston and Kelly, and they're coached, of course, by Warren Ryan, and they are the current leaders in the Sydney.
The 11 jumper is Richard Paulson. No gain in ground as it goes from Foster, and it ends up with Niebling. Niebling to play it now. Tackler was Peter Tunks in the 11 jumper. Wally Lewis passing and finding Mel Meninga. He's away from Andrew Farrer. Oh, brilliant run by Meninga. A great run by Meninga and a super tackle by young Potter. Potter making a brilliant tackle, but Meninga absolutely brushed Canterbury away. He was able to beat Andrew Farrer, and he beat him easily. And then it was left to young Michael Potter to loosen the feet is concerned. In fact, it appeared to come off the legs of the Queensland player. No difference, he'd already ordered that the scrum was to be set, and it's won by Canterbury, and a penalty against Wally Lewis for stealing the ball. 18 metres in, 18 metres out, and he's got it. Yes, he's got it. 2-0 in favour of Canterbury over Brisbane. Mortimer to feed. Won by the Bulldogs, and a piece of work there between Mortimer and Steve Folkes, and Folkes is tackled just outside the 22. Tunks now. Just a little run from dummy half, gaining a few metres. Robinson. Strong run by Robinson, but the defence was even stronger. Paulson drove in strongly, so did Fullerton-Smith. Mortimer works the blind, and then he gives it to Lamb. Lamb spins it back to Potter, and Mick Potter is tackled. It was a move that was sadly lacking in cohesion. Here's Kelly. The pass appeared forward to Johnston, but Billy Johnston must be over. He's given the try. He's given the try to Billy Johnston.
Got a dummy half and don't follow the play. We can see here that Billy Johnson threw the pass to Peter Kelly, who stood in the tackle, got his arms free to Billy Johnson, who was backing up on the inside. It then became a one-on-one with Scott. Scott wasn't strong enough to hold him, even though he had support, and over goes Johnson for the try.
Actually landed short, Johnston, and the defence has almost pushed him over the line. The more I look at that pass, though, it probably was spot on. We're looking at it from an awful angle, but those different camera shots are showing that it may have well been as good as gold. The pass from Kelly to Johnston. The try has been given. The goal's been kicked. That's all that matters. Canterbury-Bankstown are leading Brisbane by 8 points to 0. As it goes out to Steve Mortimer. Taking it ahead is Brian Batiste, and he's tackled in centre field about 28 metres out. Steve Mortimer away from dummy half, and there was no marked defence, and he was able to make a gain of about 10 metres, but he ran into Wally Lewis and he was wrapped up, ball and all. Tunks goes ahead now, and Tunks is about 15 metres out, and 5 tackles have been indicated. As we look now for Terry Lamb, he goes for the drop goal, and it's hit the upright, bounced back into the field of play, and Stacks on the mill. A penalty has gone to the Brisbane team. He's ruled Andrew Farrer was offside. The kick by Lamb hit the upright, bounced back into the field of play, and he's ruled Andrew Farrer, the Canterbury centre, offside. So the siren has sounded, but the tap is to be taken by Wally Lewis. He kicks ahead. Rebo's going after it fast. Mortimer has to go across and take it. And that's the end of the first 20 minutes, with Canterbury-Bankstown leading Brisbane by 8 points to 0. To the ankle of Foster. Mortimer to feed. Scrum won by Brisbane against the feed. Foster has another go at playing it. This time he gets the penalty. Well, quite a easy one. He's just off centre, and he's 15 metres out. Hits it, and he's got it. Meninga raises the flags and raises the voices of the Brisbane. Brian Niebling is receiving attention in the back of play. There he is. It's an ankle injury that Niebling has suffered. Mortimer. Lamb cutting out Farah, picking up Chris Mortimer. There's Michael Potter into the back line. Dummy half is Peter Mortimer. And we're going to have a scrum go down just on the Brisbane side of halfway. Canterbury 8, Brisbane 4. This is Batiste. Player who makes the golden try in 1984 will receive from Carlton and United Breweries a cold gold ingot valued at $5,000. Just another part of the huge prize money on offer in the National Panasonic Cup. The winning team in mid-August taking out in the vicinity of $125,000. This is Colin Scott, parcelled up on the 32-metre point. His own end of the field as Miles goes for a run from dummy half. To the blind side with Kellaway now. Replacement on in jumper number 17 is Gavin Jones. And here's Linda coming onto the ball very strongly. Tunks now takes it back for Canterbury. As the siren sounds, that's the end of the first half. And Canterbury goes to the break with 1 try and 2 goals, leading Brisbane by 8 points to 4. We'll take a break. Jeff Robinson is a shoulder injury. So the breeze, as if on command, has dropped as Brisbane come out to restart the second half. They were to run into what was wasn't a strong breeze, but it certainly was more evident in the first half of proceedings. Potter bringing it out, and Meninga getting up very quickly and hitting the young Canterbury fullback. This is Kelly. Kelly, who played strongly in the first 40 minutes, and in fact was the man who got that pass away, that valuable pass away to Billy Johnston. Steve Mortimer now giving it to Farah, and Farah is tackled about 30 metres out from his line.
The fact that Wally Lewis is playing back in the sweeper role necessitates the halfback, Foster, coming up into the defensive line, and it wouldn't surprise me if Warren Ryan decided to run some of his bigger forwards at Foster wherever he happens to line up in that defensive pattern.
That kick downfield taken by Chris Mortimer, and taking it back now is Colin Scott, met by the chasers. Gillespie was one, Johnston the other. Now Rebo getting in closer to play the ball to take a bit of the load off the forwards. Miles and Kellaway making the tackle together with Fullerton-Smith. Lamb shapes to kick, doesn't. Jensen gets between them. Terry Lamb's made a big run. He's found Steve Folkes backing up, but a good cover tackle by the wing three-quarter Kilroy. But Canterbury go ahead. That was a heavy tackle by Wally Lewis. And Wally Lewis is very concerned about Billy Johnston. Lewis made the tackle on Johnston, and he knew straight away that something was wrong because Wally didn't move. He just said to the referee, get the trainer out. And Billy Johnston is not well, and the most concerned they were. This is Kelly. And a penalty to Canterbury. That's against Fullerton-Smith. Let's have a look at it now. Kelly went up, was tackled, and Fullerton-Smith went for a couple of quick shots on Kelly, right in front of the uprights, which is a pretty stupid place to start throwing punches. Good. You don't really need a goal kicker to kick these, but Ross Conlon would be chuckling. He'd be giggling getting a kick like this given to him. 9 metres out, right in front, and there's a bit of a breeze sprung up again. And Conlon takes the further 2 points presented to the Canterbury side by Brisbane, and Canterbury lead by 10 points to 4. The siren has sounded. That's the end of the third quarter. Billy Johnston and Wally Fullerton-Smith standing closest to Kelly, just exchanging A joke of some description.
And, he really bustled the Canterbury halves. Linda, Fullerton-Smith, Bella unable to take it. Miles gets it to Meninga. This will be interesting. Chris Mortimer did well. Chris Mortimer making the tackle on the big Queensland centre. Kilroy.
Brisbane need a converted try desperately, but they've still got to consider the fact that they can't throw pressure passes and cough up possession. They've got to hold the ball and only use it and spread the ball wide when the occasions arise.
Well, the two freshmen just collided. Bella and Broman. Foster. Lewis. Good pass by Lewis. That was Jones making a big run. He's reached the Canterbury 22 line. 5 tackles gone. Lewis kicks ahead, pursues, Conlon's underneath it, and Lewis makes the tackle and forces him in goal.
He's had a big 3 or 4 minutes, Wally Lewis. You'd like to have 6 of him.
I'm just going to say he's playing power football at the moment, Lewis. He hit Conlon and hit him with tremendous force. Canterbury leading by 6 points. The drop kick has come straight to Scott. He's run 10, he's run 20 metres. So Brisbane start to set themselves up now for another attack on the Canterbury line.
Brisbane are running hot at the moment, and what Canterbury have to do is slow this game down, get the ball back and then play the game at their pace.
Kellaway. He's only 15 metres out. And playing the ball back to hooker Muller, he works the blind and finds Kilroy. Kilroy is inside the 10-metre line. Meninga's the dummy half. He thinks about the blind, changes his mind, gives it to Foster, then to Lewis. And this is Bella. Bella with a very strong run. He's 3 metres out. He's nullified the tackle count too. 6 more tackles for Brisbane. Foster to Lewis. Lewis floats a pass out. It's come down to Scott. And Scott has scored for the Brisbane side. A beautiful pass by Wally Lewis. Straight into the waiting arms of Colin Scott. And what pressure there is on this kick now. From the dummy half, it came through Foster to Lewis, and then he cut out Gene Miles with a long, long pass, and Colin Scott was running free. Lewis sticking to a pattern to play Canterbury out wide.
Not only was it a great pass by Lewis, but it was his summing up of the situation. He recognised that Scott was unmarked out on the flank, and he threw the pass across to him. Scott did the rest.
This could be $125,000 worth of goal kick. He hits it, he's missed it, he sprayed it out to the right. So Canterbury hanging in there at 10 points to 8 in the third quarter final. And I can't recall off the top of my mind when this last happened. There's the drop goal by Lamb. He's got it. Terry Lamb kicking a field goal, sending the Canterbury side to a lead of 11 points to 8 now. Beautiful kick by Lamb. Canterbury 11, Brisbane 8. Won by Brisbane. Foster parcelled up 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Lewis cutting out Meninga. That pass must have gone 20 metres, believe me. It's with Bella now. Turns, finds Meninga. He's tackled 18 metres out. Brisbane with another chance now. As it goes to Kellaway. He's tackled 15 out from the Canterbury line.
You'll find this will be a series of Wally Lewis setting the ball for Meninga and Miles. There he's 2 trump cards.
Jones took that ball in full flight. 10 metres out. Lewis. Oh, he passes and it's gone to Mortimer. But that was a very, very savage tackle by Terry Lamb on Wally Lewis. But still the Brisbane skipper and Australian skipper was prepared to try and unload. As the ball goes loose, and Brisbane have come up with it again. 20 metres out from the Canterbury line. Lewis switching the point of the attack, finding Foster. Here, yes, a rebound! Brisbane have hit the lead now. Foster. That was a magic ball by the former Penrith player, Henry Foster. And Rebo scores. Now all the pressure is back on Canterbury.
Lewis read it again, switched the play back to the blind side. Foster made the break. Canterbury was short in defence. Brisbane had the overlap and Rebo did the rest.
John Rebo, the try scorer. 15 metres in from touch, 20 metres out. He's got it! Rebo has had his try converted by Meninga. Big Mel is again on top of the pedestal. Brisbane leading Canterbury by 14 to 11. The Bulldogs and Batista's tackle. He's 6 metres out from the line. This is the third tackle. It's gone out to Chris Mortimer. He's tackled. 11 out. Centre field. Oh, he took it right to the chin from Miles. It's gone to Lamb. It's out with Greg Mullane. Mullane! He's over! I think it's a try. Now he's put him in the touch. The touch judges ruled him out. Steve Mortimer really voicing off in there. Well, went into touch. See it again. Well, impossible from that shot. This one should tell us. Let's have a look at this. Well, it was a terrible decision for the touch judge to have to make. Cut-out ball out to Greg Mullane. Foster takes him nicely. Just 30 seconds of time remaining. Ball to be played by Gillespie. In fact, it's Michael Hagan who's on for Canterbury in 15. Batiste. Gillespie's pass has gone down around the feet of Stephen Folkes, and Brisbane have come up with the ball. Brisbane leading by 3 points. The final seconds are being counted down by a very, very excited Brisbane crowd as Wally Lewis fires the final pass. The siren sounds, and this third quarter final has been taken out by the home team, Brisbane.